I'm Abby,
And I'm Anna.
and this is Serious Beef.
Welcome to today's podcast.
I think we both have beef today.
We can agree on this beef. We've kind of came up with this one together.
Oh, but real quick, make sure you take your meds.
Everybody take your meds.
Take your meds.
Get your therapy.
Get your therapy. Take your meds.
Okay. It's important.
Now that we got that out of our system,
Okay. We're cured.
we're cured. Finally,
Oh, it took forever.
took too long,
Too long.
but beef today. Movie musicals.
Movie adaptations
Yes.
of, say,
Musicals.
Broadway musicals. Yes.
Yeah.
We got some beef because there are some pretty bad stinkers out there.
There's a lot of really good ones.
There are some really good ones. So we can touch on that. We make it not all negative.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But
Yeah.
we're gonna leave with the negative.
Let's finish the beef first. Yeah.
I think obviously the most egregious example is the recent Cats adaptation.
Agreed.
I haven't seen it.
I've just only seen what was, pushed in front of my face.
Right.
Which is,
That made its way into social media that people talked
that kind
about.
of thing, that kind of thing, or commercials of it.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Never
A
saw
trailer.
it. Terrible.
Terrible.
Terrible. I mean,
And
it
we have
was-
seen this live. Well, no, I have
haven't.
seen this live. You guys were out of town.
Sam saw it with you, I think.
Sam and I saw it. It is such a moment. Now, if anyone doesn't know, we are like massive. We love musicals. We love going. There is nothing, even if you're not a musical lover, Broadway musicals or whatever. There truly is nothing like seeing a live show. There really isn't. It's just an incredible experience. It's the whole experience of it all is absolutely wonderful. And you think about everything that goes in it to put on a show like this, between the cast and the people behind the scenes and the orchestra and
The costumes, the set,
everything.
and then the idea that they're going to perform the whole thing live.
Perform the whole thing seamlessly, and everything just kind of.
That's so difficult.
It's amazing.
Well, the
And-
dancing, the choreography,
Yeah,
don't
everything.
Don't get me started.
Yeah, it's there's just nothing like a live performance like that, and so we love it, and we love to go see the shows.
But we've always loved that from. Me and Sam, and Liv, grew up, watching so many of the
the older musicals.
yeah,
that
the
were-
older musicals.
Which what it's funny because it's up to your parents what they expose you
Yeah.
to. Not if you're not into that, then you don't have your kids.
I've chosen to expose myself.
It always comes back to clear.
There's lights, right?
My mom loved musicals, and so I grew up watching all the old musicals and loved them. So of course, I'm gonna show them to you guys because I love them. And so we
The what is Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, Hello
Yeah.
Dolly,
Oh, yeah.
Kiss
Yeah.
Me Kate,
Calamity Jane.
That's what that's
That's our
actually
fam.
that's my asterisk. That's my additional beef. I love that movie.
love.
I have beef.
You have beef with Calamity
They
Jane.
ruined her. She was awesome. She was awesome.
She did not need to be a girl.
She was already a girl.
She was fine the way she was.
She was awesome. She was riding horses and going to kidnapping girls out of Chicago. Fantastic.
Now,
And then they made her wear a dress.
it's okay because if you notice in the one part, they clean her up real nice and they put the dress on her. But then the one part when she has to go get back Katie, she has to go get her back. She's
Kate
still
Brown.
she's still in her pants and riding the horse and
Good.
there was. Trust me, you were never going to tame Calamity Jane all the way. But anyway, we digress. Back to
That's my beef. That's my only beef with Calamity Jane. I love Calamity Jane.
yeah, it's a great.
Who-
it's
is
a
that
great
Doris
show.
Day?
Doris Day.
She's great.
You just can't beat it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
But
But the
so Cats is probably the most egregious. But I've never seen. Now, okay, back on Cats though. There is a filmed stage production of Cats,
There
which
is.
is excellent.
It is phenomenal, and I love it. And not a lot of people get Cats. It's an
It's
odd
strange. It's
story,
strange.
but it's also poetry. It was based on a book of poems.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the guy who wrote it. And Andrew Lloyd Webber turns it into this musical that actually is a really beautiful story. And it's weird, but it's literally about the lives of these cats. and how one gets to be reborn and
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Well, I think
Um,
that like that's the type of musical that I go into. Like, listen, we don't care about the story. We are here to be amazed at singing and
oh,
dancing
and the dancing and
and
singing in that
and
show are off the charts. Like it's
yes,
incredible. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, as a musical person, a person who loves musicals, it's kind of like your mecca, like when you get to see Cats live. So can you imagine? Here's Sam and me sitting in the show. We're so excited. We're finally seeing the show live, right?
yeah.
And the part
And this is
where
what, like a year ago, maybe? It's
a year or
recent.
2 years ago. It hasn't
Yeah.
been. It was right after COVID when the theater was able to be
Oh,
opened
okay.
again. So literally, we had missed a year of being able to go to see the shows.
Yeah.
And so now we're finally back, and I think it was the second show that we saw after we were finally able to go back. We're singing. We all had to wear our masks, and we're singing in the theater. And you have Rosabella who's on her knees, and she hits that note when she's singing "Memory."
Yeah.
Oh my God, Sam and I literally are holding hands. The
Tears.
tears are flowing. We're just like
Hilarious.
just literally
Like,
the
yeah.
most epic moment. We loved it. We loved it. It was amazing. And so for them to turn it into this horrendous movie.
Well, they tried so
So
hard
offended.
to like force some kind of storyline because they wanted it to make sense, and like
You can't make
can't
sense
make that,
of it.
That makes sense.
If you listen to
And also, what
actual
is
Cats and enjoy it for the poetry that it is,
what's up with that CGI?
oh, it was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. I know they wanted to give them cat buttholes at one point, and
What?
people were yum yum
What?
because they said yum yum. It was not yummy. No, I did not mean to make a yummy sound. I was trying to say yeah. And yeah. They wanted to.
Oh, God.
They were like, well, it looks weird because their tails are up. There's no if you a real cat, and then people were like, no.
Unnecessary.
No one wants to see that.
Nope.
That
didn't
is
need it.
wrong. So
Didn't
then
need
they had to take it out.
Good. That
Yeah,
was
no.
a weird year because that was also, I don't know if you recall, this isn't have anything to do with musicals, but that same
Okay.
it had to do with CGI.
Okay.
That same year, I think the Sonic the Hedgehog movie was coming out, and they had released like the trailer,
Right.
and he looked bad.
It was bad.
Now
Yeah.
I will admit that I have not seen any of the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, but Olivia's excited about the new one.
I know, but I have not seen them as well.
But they released it and it was mocked mercilessly, and they went back and they fixed it. They changed him. They changed him back to how he looks in the game, which is like what you should have done to begin with. And I will say, as a graphic designer, as somebody who's in the art field, I do not blame the animators or the people in charge of actually doing the CGI for those decisions, because 9 times out of 10
they don't get to make the decisions. Let's just
9
put it
times
that
out of
way.
10
Yeah.
when you see horrible decisions like that being made, it is not the designers, it's
No.
not the artists usually.
No, it's
It
an
is-
executive
It goes
somewhere.
yes,
Yeah.
it gets
Yeah.
up to corporate, to the executive level, and they say, no, we don't want to do that, we want to be more realistic, or we want this or we want that. And it's like, okay, that's gonna look weird, but sure. Now they at least were smart enough to say, you know what? Yep, we messed up. We're gonna go back and fix it, because
Right.
that movie was gonna be a flop if they released it as
Right.
is, and it is now become extremely.
Yeah.
I say
What are
extremely
they on, movie number
successful.
3
It's
or
like-
something?
Yeah, more
It's
than
like,
what they ever probably thought they'd get.
Listen to what the people are saying. We know what we're talking about. Do not cast people in a musical who cannot sing. Stop doing that.
I know.
Les
I
Mis is
understand.
a huge example.
Yep.
This is
Anne Hathaway, great.
she did a good job.
She
did
I
fine.
got no issue with her. Agreed that there is. I say agreed as if you said this, but
Even like
I-
Amanda Seyfried and Eddie Redmayne, I wasn't upset about them.
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman was it could have been better, 100%. That
Agreed.
part is so huge, and he
did what he
couldn't
could.
really hit the notes that I felt like someone who was. There are many people who could have sung it better.
But the
he
biggest
still,
issue-
I thought he played the part really well.
Yes.
But the biggest issue was Russell Crowe. Why?
Yeah, couldn't sing.
Why would you
I
do
don't-
that? He could not sing, and they wanted his name.
Yeah,
I guess.
And I don't understand that because you already had Hugh Jackman and you know, all, like you said, Amanda Seyfried
and Hathaway.
And Hathaway.
Yeah, you already had those.
And Hathaway's not in it very long.
No,
she's got what I would consider. She sings what I would consider the most recognizable song, or most well-known song from that musical. But she's not in it very long.
She comes back at the end briefly, but yeah,
very
But when this is like,
and then you're gonna have him singing it live on set. You know what I mean? Like they didn't like record that and put it in.
And stupid.
That's
terrible decision.
Like if you had cast people who had done this part on Broadway and then had put them in here to do it, and then you're like, yeah, I want that authentic sound. I want them to sing it live on set. Okay.
Well, okay.
But you got Russell Crowe.
You cannot.
You went with
sing.
Russell Crowe. What are we doing? What are we doing? And so he
only has this huge song that he sings too, and it's like, what just absolutely happened here?
You've seen Les Mis.
I've seen it, the movie, and then I've seen the live production, and I avoided it for years. I avoided it forever because I'm like, this is going to be terrible. The title is literally The Miserables. Like, I don't want to see this show.
I'm not big on the depressing.
I was always amazed at people who are like, every time it comes, I go. I see it every time, and I'm like, why would you put yourself through that?
I had a teacher in high school that was like that.
This is so sad. It's going to be sad. I am guilty of judging it before actually seeing it.
Yeah.
And so it came back around to the Fox literally a year ago. And Sam and I were like, okay, now if we are real musical
buffs,
connoisseurs, then we must have Les Mis in our repertoire. Okay, like we are like, we actually have to see it. So we go. And literally at the intermission, you have this huge moment, which we love. Usually you get this huge moment.
Yeah.
End of Act 1. At the end of Act 1. Intermission comes. Lights go up. We look at each other. We're literally stunned. Okay, we're sitting there just stunned, looking at each other.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, I get it.
I get it.
I absolutely get it. And she's like, I do too. Damn it. We were like so mad because we're like, damn it, we get it. Agreed. It is just the most beautiful story. And if you ever, we won't go on about it forever, but if you ever get a chance to see Les Mis, you gotta go.
Absolutely. I would say that's a must see.
You absolutely gotta go.
The problem is the movie doesn't do it justice.
They could have made it so good. Actually, I wasn't angry at all of the movie.
Yeah.
There were parts of it that I really, really liked. And I thought that they did well.
I agree. It's not the worst one on this list.
The other parts are, I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Again, the bad decision making.
Well, another one, the bad decision making, Dear Evan Hansen movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
We saw that live though.
Yes,
and it's a wonderful show.
Yeah, I should just be more specific. I haven't seen that movie. Ashley's watched the movie. Ashley, who's again not here with us today.
I've heard from multiple people that it was terrible.
Now, I know that there is, Ashley's giving me the skinny the scoop, the poop
on this, okay.
That there is a little bit of behind the scenes stuff going on about how Ben Platt, who is the lead in the movie and originally the part on Broadway.
And did an amazing job on Broadway.
Yes. Okay. Well, his dad, I guess, is very wealthy and funded that entire movie and basically is like, you're going to put my son in the lead, even though it doesn't make any sense.
Well, by then he had gotten too old.
He was what, late 30s?
Had to have been.
When he's playing the high schooler. This is a part for
a teenager. Yeah.
No, I mean,
And the same thing, they put somebody actually who could sing as the mom and then cut her song.
Yeah, I know.
What are you thinking?
It's
that song is so huge.
Amy Adams.
Yeah. And
I love Amy Adams.
And they cut the song and we're like, that song is very important.
Yeah.
So
and that's Ashley's one of her.
Yeah,
and she was mad.
Why would you cut that song out? That makes zero sense. So yeah, again, it was just really, really bad decision making.
Yeah, Ash was mad about that.
Same thing. They made The Prom, which is absolutely one of the best musicals I've ever seen.
I've never seen the stage. I didn't go with you guys to the stage.
I pray it comes back. I must take you all. It is so wonderful.
And I know that the movie was on Netflix, I think, for a while. I never watched it.
Could we put James Corden in one more musical? The man can sort of sing.
He can sing. He can sing.
He can.
He is funny.
I liked him in Into the Woods. I liked him in Into the Woods. That part was really perfect for him.
He's just been completely saturated.
You had to put him in every single other musical ever made after that? Why?
And have him do the same, like, corny jokes every single time.
Just
I'm like,
stop it.
Yeah.
Enough already.
I know.
No, that was a no. They
messed Into the Woods,
and they messed that one up.
I like
Into the Woods was fine. I liked
prom.
it a lot.
They missed that.
They messed up the prom, and it truly is a wonderful story.
I haven't watched either.
It's so amazing. It's so funny. It's so beautiful. Like everything about it. You leave there and you're just smiling. You're like, it's so wonderful. You cry a little bit, and then you're just laughing, and it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Truly. Yeah. That good. And I went in there it was one of those shows where I went into there with no expectations. I didn't know anything about it.
You guys get the season tickets usually.
We always get season tickets. Yeah. So we go to the show. I know nothing. We know nothing about this show, and we are all blown away. Absolutely blown away. If I had known, I would have bought extra tickets for everybody to go. We just didn't know.
Well, I think that
it was a brand new show that we hadn't really heard much about.
Well, and I don't want to say that musical specifically. I think that musical cemented it, but Sam, I think, started really looking into all of the shows well beforehand.
Normally, yes. Yeah. She is always the one that's the musical.
The
musical buff. And she would, because she did the musicals in high school and sang in the chorus and did the whole big thing, right? She went to New York and got to see Kinky Boots in New York.
I know.
I'm so jealous.
The original Broadway cast. Oh my God.
Yeah. So jealous.
Well, I know that Sam tells you about the music.
So she would always look it up on YouTube, whatever, and watch some of the songs and keep me kind of actually this is a very funny story. Okay, because Abby and I are sitting. You and I are sitting at.
Was it
Fiddler? It was Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh man! Which again, I had never watched the movie Fiddler on the Roof.
There's an old movie of it.
Yes. Yeah. There is a couple songs. The Rich Man song.
If I were a rich man.
Yeah. That Gwen Stefani uses.
Yeah, it's true.
Quit singing. We're about to cut this. Oh, no, you're right.
No, you're fine. Okay, it's fine.
No, you're fine.
No one recognizes by how terrible my voice is. No, that show was just wonderful.
I was very surprised because I knew that it was not a happy one.
Yeah, it doesn't end as bad as...
It doesn't take,
It doesn't end as bad as Cabaret, but it is still a bit of a bummer.
Well, I like history.
But the show is really wonderful.
Right. Yeah. Well, I like history, and I was like, listen, the time frame... It's a Jewish family in Russia, I believe, is where it takes place. And I don't know what the exact time frame is, but the years, I'm like, there's no way that this is a happy story.
But it is up until the end, really. I mean,
it's slowly
kind of leads.
I think
it's still a wonderful story.
It kind of focuses on the family and whatnot, even through shitty times.
I loved it.
So it was very good.
But we're sitting there. The show hasn't even started.
Yeah.
And you say to me, we had seen this show in the first season, our very first season ticket season. We had seen a show called Fun Home.
Oh, I was there.
You were there. And you had told me, I wish I would have known what Fun Home was going to be about. They had sold this jacket that had these beautiful, rainbow, colorful keys. I think they had a
pin too, which
on the
makes
back.
It more sad. Yeah. They probably had a.
And you're like, pin. I would have bought that jacket. I would have, I really end up, because the show is about, they call it Fun Home because they live in a funeral home.
Yes. And it's like a coming of age story of this woman,
girl.
And I don't know if you probably know this, but it's the musical is based on a graphic novel.
Yes.
The graphic novel is like an autobiography of this woman's life.
Her life. And she's kind of discovering that she's a lesbian or whatever, and she's trying to kind of come out, talk to her father, but he kind of just shuts her down.
Yeah.
And then they find out later that he is gay and had been seeing men.
Yeah.
It was on the side and trying to hide it from his family, and honestly, the show was heartbreaking. It really was.
Sad. And that was a very short. There was no intermission. It was just a one and done.
Show all the way
but it was really good.
There was really funny stuff too.
There was.
I mean, it was again. I've never seen a bad show. I can't say that I have.
Very good.
But it did break my heart.
Yes.
But you had said to me, "I wish I would have known what it was about," and I said, "Oh, well, Sam. I rely on Sam to keep me," and I meant to say, up to date. Or abreast. But instead I said up to breast. in musicals.
Sam keeps me up to breast in
musicals.
And so I said to you, Sam keeps.
Now all I can imagine is,
I'm up to my tits in musicals.
You're up to your tits in musicals. We're sitting at the Fox.
Oh my God.
She leans over and says that to me. We lose it. We're laughing. Wayne and Lynn are there, his sister, and they look over and they're like, what is wrong with you? Yeah. We laughed. I think there was about 15 minutes till the show started, and I think we laughed the entire 15 minutes.
Well, I think what's even funnier is that sitting in front of us was one of your old students that you had taught, and his partner were there too. And so they had already seen us and said, oh, hi, whatever. Right. And, but they hear us like cackling, and they're like, they're trying to be like polite, but they're like,
what is going on?
But you know what? It's the church effect.
It was a church effect. We talked about this in one of our previous podcasts. So you can't laugh.
I think episode 4. Yeah.
You can't laugh. So of course you laugh even harder. We did get ourselves under control. Before
the show started.
We have very good theater etiquette, and we did get ourselves under control before the show started.
My God.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
Well, that's why. Well, the church effect is why Liv and I cannot sit next to each other. Well, I say we cannot, and yet we sit next to each other at like
every time. Yeah.
But
you should not though.
Right, because we saw.
I should separate you two.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Then we would just lean around you.
That's true. Then I would.
We're a ruckus.
Yeah.
Well. We saw, most recently, we saw Tina and...
The Tina Turner story.
Yep, that one. And we saw...
and then the very next one was Funny Girl, yeah.
Right. And both of those...
Miss Stouffer was in there, sorry, I forgot about that.
Well, that's the one I went to.
But that's the next one you saw and her, yeah. You guys saw Funny Girl. We just saw that one recently.
Which was amazing.
That one was incredible.
The lead... we were talking to friend Rachel who come over Saturday for games, and we were talking about musicals and whatnot because she didn't realize that we were such like theater nerds. And she loves theater as well, and so she did not get to go see Funny Girl.
Shucks.
But she was like,
so good.
She said, she's like, I heard, honestly, she's like, the biggest thing I was hearing about is that the lead. The girl, they're like, watch out. She's going places.
I
like
heard
go
her
see
sing,
her because she's gonna like.
I was seriously thinking to myself, what is this girl doing in this traveling show? I
agreed
because she's amazing. Yeah, she blew us away.
She was amazing.
Absolutely blew us away.
I honestly think I think I would have liked the show regardless, but the show really blew me away way more because of her performance.
We got so lucky, honestly, to have such an amazing.
Because I never watched that movie with Barbra Streisand. Now here's the thing, though. I knew that this movie starred Barbra Streisand, and even though I hadn't seen the movie, if you know theater, you've almost certainly heard the Rain on My Parade song at some point. Glee did it multiple times.
Well, that and her and Hello Dolly, it's the same story. When, you hear her sing the songs from Hello Dolly, and then you hear someone else sing them. No one can live up to that.
No.
To me, no one can possibly sing that as well as her. And I've seen Hello Dolly live, and I literally left there slightly disappointed because of that. They had an older woman who is supposed to be an older woman. Play that part. And that was kind of the beef people had with Hello Dolly because they were like, Barbra she's too young.
Yeah.
It was like, no, she killed it.
She killed it.
She's just too fantastic.
Now, I will say, the stage production has a scene that is not in the movie. And they go to the courthouse, and she is sitting there, and she's like pulling a bunch of stuff out of her purse. She pulls out like a whole chicken she's eating. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're like laughing, that's funny. But somebody... like 2 sections over this is the funniest thing they've ever seen.
It's the funniest thing they ever saw.
They are dying.
It was like a guy, wasn't it?
No, it was a lady.
It was a woman. I can't remember.
She's like cackling, and I'm just like, no
you
judgment.
Just hear this absolute person dying of laughter.
No judgment. They are getting so much joy out of this. Great.
Loved it.
I'm laughing because they're laughing so hard, and I think most of the theater then starts laughing.
It made it so funny because this woman was truly seeing the funniest thing she had ever seen in her life. So that we all just
looked up and saw herself or something. And it was like
the whole chicken came out. She lost it.
She's eating. Well, because she like it's like silent on stage for a while. Like she's eating, she's like napkins, looking at her fingers into this whole like extended bit. And this woman in the audience is dying. Yeah. And I was like, okay, again, it was funny. Right. It wasn't that funny. I don't know if it was that funny. But I will say that I agree that
but I gotta tell you,
you can't live up to Barbara Streisand,
but that woman made it, what an experience for us.
The woman, and here's the woman who plays Dolly.
Oh, she did a great job.
She was very funny. She made the part her own, but unfortunately, I don't want you to make the part your own. I want you to make the part Barbara Streisand.
I want Barbara Streisand every time, hands down. I'm not gonna lie. So I was worried about Funny Girl,
right? Because
I was worried.
I know what Barbara Streisand sounds like.
Me? Yeah. Who can play this part?
She was amazing.
Oh my God, what a treat for us!
But
what an absolute treat.
Absolutely. So highlight.
But here's the funny thing: you guys are coming off of Tina, which if anybody knows Tina Turner's story, it's a bit of a bummer until say 1984 or whatever, whatever.
Until the end of the musical,
when she finally leaves, Ike, and kind of literally gets a do-over. She gets a chance to start her career over, and good. And I mean, honestly, so
good for her.
Love her. Amazing performer.
Amazing.
Just literally simply the best. Okay, which is one of my all-time favorite songs. So
yes,
R.I.P. Tina Turner. Love her.
Love.
Okay, and so. So happy for her that she got the do-over, got to start a career, had so much success.
She had so many good songs.
Found the love of her life, was married to this man till the day she died, and was so happy for her. But this musical is, a bit of a bummer. And finally, at the end of the show is finally when it starts. They don't spend as much time on the happy bits, I guess, as much as.
Well, because it's like everybody. I guess it's just because I think that the point, of course, is to show like. Look at what she went through. We know everything from this point on, right? Like, we know how successful she was and all this stuff, but we don't see the years leading up to that, the, like, absolute shit show.
Not only her childhood, but then, her early days in show business.
And being married.
And you and Liv are both just like...
Because Ike is a douchebag.
Ike is a douche.
And we're watching this.
No argument for me.
Right, and he's like,
And we get to
the mom even was not supportive. She was like, "You need to go."
The mom left her.
I know. Well, when she was a kid,
and then abusive dad. Like,
the dad I don't think even raises her. He just dumps her on the grandma. The grandma that raises her.
Yeah.
But the mom leaves her.
Thank God, grandma.
Thank God for the grandma. Yeah. But then the mom, like on her deathbed, the mom tells Tina Turner that she needs to go get back with.
She needs to forgive Ike. And be with him.
No. Who was cheating on her, abusing her kids, doing drugs, you name it.
Everything bad imaginable.
Like
no.
All terrible things. And he was not turning his life around.
No. She didn't need
she did not need to have that.
Yeah, we get to intermission and you and Liv are just like, this is terrible.
I think my mouth was like hung open. I was like, okay, here's the thing. I know some Tina Turner songs. I don't know a ton. Not Sam and you and Mary know a lot more than I do, but I know, like you said, Simply the Best and Proud Mary,
absolutely.
But I'm like watching this absolute downer, and me and Liv, and then like I said, the mom is throwing out things like, you need to go back and forgive him, and me and Olivia are doing the thing where we look at each other like. No, girl. No, leave him.
Leave him.
No, absolutely not.
You can do so much better.
And so it would just be like somebody would say something, and me and Liv would immediately make eye contact, like, are you like this shit again? And then of course they have to not laugh because we've both just done this thing,
right. Silent communication of
are you kidding me? Like, and that both of our first thoughts was to look at the other person like, are you hearing this shit? Like.
I'm about to go on stage and drag her away from that man.
I know. I'm like, let me tell you, hold on. Just pause the show. I'm coming up there.
If she gets back with him, we're gonna have some words.
I'm like, me and Liv are like, listen, seriously.
Arms crossed, so mad at Ike Turner and the mom.
I was like, you've got to be shitting me.
Intermission, they turn around because you guys were sitting in front of us.
Yeah.
And you turn around and you're both just like mad at the world.
I didn't know the story. Olivia doesn't know the story. Tina Turner at that point.
You're
I
so
didn't know.
Mad. And Mary and I are like, Just wait.
I was like, tell me.
Just give it a minute.
I literally was like, tell me that this picks up in the second half because
does.
what the hell?
It finally
I
does.
know, but it's slow.
It took a while.
She does leave him.
Yeah.
I think at intermission is when she like leaves him.
Yeah.
Right.
But then he still tries to get her back and all this stuff.
God.
But I
Wait,
mean,
stalks her.
So now,
Oh.
fast forward.
Anyway.
Fast forward. It ends well. It all ends well.
Oh yeah,
so it was good. So we didn't leave you didn't leave there mad, but
no. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a good show. So
I
now we go
see it again. Sad, but I would listen to Teen
It
Turner
was sad.
music
It
again.
made me cry. I tell you what, it did heartbreak my heart. And then at the end, they did kind of a tribute to her because she had just passed away, and Mare and I were crying. So anyway, we go now. Fast forward to Funny Girl.
Crying.
Anyway. We were.
we got to see Funny Girl.
But we got over it.
We go to see Funny Girl. And
now I know what this show is, and you have no idea.
No,
you don't even know. We've never watched.
I was like, Funny Girl, bold name. When we were going with our podcast, naming the podcast, we specifically were like, we can't put anything funny. We can't be like, oh, we're hilarity or da-da-da, because that's setting the bar too high. Now I coming in, I better laugh.
If you don't make me laugh.
Named the show Funny Girl. She better crack me up. She did. She did. She was great. But story, again, shitty husband.
Yeah.
And
another doucher of a husband.
We watched to the intermission, and she her whole thing is that she wants to be famous on Broadway and all this kind of stuff. That's what she wants, and she thinks that she has a talent, and she does. And by intermission, she's got it all.
She's done it.
She's done it, and she's married. She's married.
They've
got all this money.
Child. She's very wealthy and very famous. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, then it's intermission, right? Because intermission is the Don't Rain on My Parade, and she goes after him.
Yes.
And so,
and it's really good up until the intermission.
Well, so it gets to the intermission, and then I turn to you now that it's over. I'm like, listen.
You and Liv turned, and what did you say?
Things are going too well.
They had bad vibes. We have bad vibes.
I was like, bad vibes at halftime right now. Okay, it is halftime, and I'm a little concerned because what is this? She's got it all. She had everything.
And it's only intermission.
So there's nowhere to go but down.
This is your pessimistic mind.
I'm sorry, was I wrong?
I snapped a picture of you and Liv. You both are looking at me with this very, not angry face, but
I just couldn't believe that this shit was happening again. I just seen Tina.
Through Tina.
And now I'm that Funny Girl. I know you guys had gone to see Mrs. Doubtfire in between. I was in Chicago.
You were
at the medieval times.
In the Windy City.
For my birthday.
Medieval times. That's a whole other podcast. Okay. Wait, write this down. We will revisit this.
We will. We won't.
We won't.
But we'll try. Eventually, in another 6 episodes.
We'll forget. But we'll remember someday.
Yeah. But I just was like, I cannot believe this shit is happening again. And because we had looked it up.
You were asking me. No, you were asking me. Is this going south? Is this going? How's this going? And I'm like, I trying not to.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember. And I was like, fine, I'll Google it.
Mare and I don't make eye contact.
Yeah, good old Wikipedia. Yeah, you insisted. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't seen the movie in forever.
I know it's been a long time because we knew the story. Of course.
Well, I was gonna spoil it.
I had seen the movie.
I said I better prepare myself because I like her. She's funny. Damn it, she's good.
She is good.
She's good.
And she was funny. Yeah.
And I was like,
nope. So you Googled it? I didn't know you Googled it.
Yeah, I looked it up and I read aloud to Liv. And then I also said, Mare, I'm like, can you believe this shit? Because it's like the spoilers for Funny Girl. Sorry if you want to go see it. Pause this. Go watch the musical. Come back.
Come back. The husband is a doucher.
The husband is a moron. Yeah. He's not like a bad guy. He's just fucking stupid. Like they have this whole thing that she is fabulously wealthy in
extremely wealthy
1910s, 1920s.
Before World War II. It's before. World War I. right?
So maybe late 1800s.
It's before the Great Depression and before World War One.
So if it's before, then it's like late 1800s, early 1900s.
She's very, very, very wealthy.
Well before.
Yeah, he wants to open a club in Florida and
a casino.
She cuts him a check for $65,000.
$68, Mom.
Oh, I take it back.
$68,000.
Like, who has that kind of money back then? Like, that's...
In the 1800s, that she writes him a check without batting an eye.
Right, yeah.
And I'm like...
And then he forgets to get insurance, apparently, and the whole thing is blown away by
I don't know.
By a hurricane.
How prevalent is insurance?
And they lost it all. I'm like, where's your insurance, buddy?
Apparently. Yeah, you built a casino in Florida, but you didn't get hurricane insurance.
Apparently that wasn't the thing.
So he's like, we've lost everything, blah, blah, blah. And
she doesn't even bat an eye. She's like,
okay. I turned to Liv. Or I think I actually was talking to you because I'd read the Wikipedia thing. I was like, oh, and I had read that the casino gets blown and and they don't have any
casino gets
blown away. and that they it's like, oh, like all this money, blah blah blah, all this stuff. And so in my mind I'm like, well, okay, like I get why he eventually is gonna go do illegal shit to make money. Like he buys like bonds or something like that. He has like in a whole scam. Or
he sells them or something.
Right. And then he goes to jail. Right. And that's kind of like the musical. And when he gets out of jail, they reunite and they like break up and it's a whole thing.
She wants to stay together.
She does, but he doesn't.
And he's like, no, I can't rely on you. I need to make my own way, blah, blah, blah. And he leaves.
Right. So I read this in the Wikipedia and I'm like, okay, so clearly he is doing this illegal shit because he is desperate for money. So they must be desperate for money. And then I'm watching the show and she's like, here's a check for 30 grand. Here's a check for 60 grand. Here's money, money, money. And I'm like, so what you're saying is that he couldn't, listen, he's like, oh, the mom blames her. I'm speechless, clearly. The mom blames her. Well, you just were like throwing all this money in his face. You were like smothering him in all your money and blah, blah, blah. And I remember leaving there and saying to you, she can smother me in money. I don't have a problem with that. I'll be a stay-at-home parent for the child, and you go perform on Broadway, and I can live in a mansion. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah, like he had it real rough.
Are you kidding me?
What did Sam say? I'm too clumsy to be around your fragile masculinity.
Yes.
That literally explains the whole movie. I have to make it on my own. I can't rely on your money. Okay, well, I guess see ya.
Listen, yeah, it's like you weren't like unsuccessful. You
were a bad businessman.
Well, you didn't get the insurance, but it's like
then I guess I don't know whatever anything ever. I guess he was a gambler when they met. He made his money by gambling.
Yes, he wins big, and
so he'd win, but then he'd lose big too. You know, it was back and forth, and then.
But my thing is like he's got the.
But any other
she could have written up a check to go open another casino.
Right.
Maybe not in hurricane
Maybe not
season.
in a hurricane. Yeah.
You know, that's not a big.
I think anytime
could have done that.
Anything he ever had tried, he just kept failing, and it was just like, for some reason, she's taking the blame on that, and that's crap.
I know.
Yeah, that was some crap.
I was like, that's where like the Wikipedia says like they talk, they agree that they're gonna get a divorce, and like it ends with her like brokenhearted. But the show actually ends, and I don't know if this like is different from
the movie
or not. It's been
a long time since I've seen the movie.
Right, but the show does end with her like kind of being like singing the song that's I believe the intermission song again, a little bit different, of just like her remembering, oh wait a minute, I am whatever her name is.
I'm Fanny Bryce.
I'm Fanny Bryce.
Yeah.
I'm motherfucking Fanny Bryce.
Right.
I'm like, yes, girl, go.
I'm an independent black woman. I don't need no man.
No, she is not. She is not. But
she don't need no man.
She don't need no man. I'm like,
she did that all herself.
Hell yeah. And I'm like,
and she kind of finds herself again and ends on that very positive note.
Yeah, I was like, go girl.
I'm Fanny freaking Bryce.
And I remember, so through the whole thing, he's like, I can't do this. Oh, you set up this business venture, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, me and Olivia we're sitting next to each other. We're doing the same thing. I cannot believe. Are you hearing this shit? Like, she has told him, go, be my sugar baby, live in the mansion, and you don't even have to take care of the kids. We have a nanny.
Right. Go do what you want to do.
Literally whatever you want to do. Right. You want to open another casino and let it be blown down? Fine. I have the money. We can rebuild it. We were doing the
This time, don't build it on a straw. You know what I mean? I don't know.
We were doing the Monty Python. That was taken to the swamp. Then the second one. That was taken to the swamp.
Right.
The third one stayed. The third one stayed up.
They're going to stay up.
And so I was like, go for it, buddy. Go build your third castle and
Yeah.
let it sink into the swamp. Who gives a shit? She's throwing around $60,000.
Yeah.
In
She's willing to do anything for you, and you throw it in her face that,
I was shocked.
yeah, no.
I was like, never in my life have
So
I seen.
it was a great show. It was
So
a great
good.
show. We're making it sound bad, really.
No, it's a great show. She was the best part of that show. I just was like,
Fanny Bryce is amazing.
I can't
The
take
husband, doucher.
these. I was like, I cannot take these men, these leading men in these musicals. They're terrible.
They're terrible.
0 out of 10. Calamity Jane, same way. What? You ever were dressed? No. You should have loved her for her roping and riding. Come on. Come on.
A roping and a ride.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Now I know that you do. So we've seen some great shows at the Fox. I know you have.
So if you get a chance, take in a live show.
Absolutely.
Okay, they're amazing. You know,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter. I can't say that I've ever even seen a bad
Live
show.
show.
I have seen bad movie adaptations, but I have not seen a bad show. Now, some are sad, and some are happier, and some are funny, and some are, you might not like the genre, like as I talked about Cabaret briefly, very, very sad. But then we saw Lion King.
Oh my God.
And I, again, have seen, obviously, the Disney movie Lion King.
Which is great.
I know the music. I know the story. Go into the musical, and I'm 100% blown away.
Well, it's so funny because we do describe ourselves as like theater nerds and buffs and whatnot, and we didn't see Lion King again. This is like last year, maybe 2 years ago at most.
Seriously, we
hadn't seen it.
Why did it take so long for us to see the show? I have no idea. But I was stunned by
It was
how
amazing.
absolutely beautiful this show was. It was incredible.
Right, we're sitting there.
Just incredible.
I know you're talking about you and Sam being at the Fox and Cats. That was me and
This is your
Ashley
Rebecca,
just
watching
blown. The Lion King. Yeah, our eyes are like bugging out of our heads. Like, oh my God! Like, okay, here comes the elephant down the aisle.
The center aisle of the
Trampled a man who was trying to go to the bathroom 5 seconds into the show. God, he had it coming. No, not really.
But even the music.
Are you? Yeah.
And the way they did it, and there were some songs that were not in the movie.
Yeah.
The one where he sings, the Simba sings a song about his father.
Yeah.
After he's passed away, and that song, reached my chest and ripped my heart out. It's so beautiful. It's so good.
It's really good.
We come out there and I'm like, I can't believe I was that emotional over The Lion King. Like, it was that good. That good.
Well, I know, like, we've seen a lot of shows,
Yep.
I know your only, I think, beef you have with seeing the live shows is your height. You have a bit of an issue.
Oh, you know what? It is, the struggle is real.
We gotta get you a booster.
How am I so short and you guys are all so tall? You guys are easily 3 inches taller than me.
I don't know how tall
I'm like 5'4".
I'm 5'8". I'm almost
maybe
5'9".
5'4.5". And yeah, you guys are like 5'8".
I am the shortest of our sisters.
Well,
apparently.
I thought you were 5'7".
No. Whoa.
Liv is 5'8", and Sam is 5'9".
Olivia is like 5'8" and like 3/4, and I'm like 5'8.5". Like, we are like.
You guys are all.
But she's got like a.
You're
quarter
all
of an
very
inch
tall
up.
for women. My sister is like 5'7.5" or something. She's quite tall.
Our cousin Emily's like 6 foot
Emily's
something.
6 foot, yeah.
Jesus.
And even Lynn is taller than me.
Yeah.
This is our usual group that goes. I think Ashley's the only person that's shorter than me. Legit.
Bless her.
And so you go to the show, and no fail, giant man sits in front of me. Every time.
She said no fail. Without fail.
I don't know what I'm saying. So I'm up to my tits in musicals. There's a giant guy that's in front of me every time. The worst was Sam and I go to see the Nutcracker. I splurge. We get the seats down close. Sam has been a dancer her entire life.
Yeah.
And so, we're going to go see the Russian ballet perform the Nutcracker. This is good. We are beyond excited. This is going to be amazing, right? So, because, I'm a true dance mom. I've been to every recital. I'm backstage helping her switch from toe shoes to jazz shoes. I mean, you name it.
Tap and ballet.
The money I spent on costumes and shoes. Oh my gosh. So, but I loved every minute of it, right? And so
I slept through most of them.
Yeah, that's okay.
I was little.
Liv had her personal DVD player. We didn't watch the movies. So, we get through it. But it was the same thing. They sat through her softball.
Oh, yeah.
So many softball games. But anyway, we're going to go see the Russian ballet. We're going to see the Nutcracker. This is amazing. We're so excited. Woman and a man, easily over 6 feet tall. The woman is easily 6 foot tall. The man is taller. Plop right in front of us. I am ready to cry. I can see nothing. I can see nothing of this show. I literally was in tears. I was so upset. I'm like, I have bought these tickets and I cannot see the show. So I took my purse and I sat on it like a booster seat.
They have booster seats.
My big butt can't fit in a booster seat.
We gotta get you one of those like pillow.
I need a custom made booster seat for my booty. But
I was just thinking
because they're made for children.
Cushions. You don't talk about those little cushions.
Oh, legit. Yeah.
You don't talk. You should just get a couple of those. Stack them. Sit on.
Put them in like a tote bag and bring it along. Okay, that's the plan. So I sat on my purse. Imagine, there's the crap that's in my purse is now digging into my butt. Broke my mirror. Broke it with my ass. Broke it. But you know what? Worth it. Worth
Hilarious.
It was.
But you had to see it.
Finally, what I could see. When I could see the show, it was incredible.
She's like, I can see the show, but at what cost?
But I'm like, legit, this is my thing. I am too short. Everyone is too tall. So
golly. So you got to see that. You said that was lovely. Okay. So, well, let me ask you. I guess we're just doing musicals this whole way through.
Well, so I got a skinny, got a scoop, got a poop. If you want to hear it.
Okay, I'm sure we'll get there. We'll get there. But I gotta know what are your faves?
Oh, okay. There's too many. I wore the right shirt. I'm actually wearing my Wicked.
Oh.
I'm wearing my Wicked jacket, and so Wicked is a must see.
I love Wicked.
Amazing show. Fan of the Opera. Probably is my ultimate favorite Broadway musical to see live. It was the first one I ever saw live.
It might be also my favorite.
Really incredible show
because it is. I have a hard time putting anything above it. You know what I mean? Like, I love Lion King.
Yeah, the Lion King was incredible though too. That was amazing.
I love Legally Blonde. I did not think I'd love that show as much as I love that show.
It is a great show.
It is great.
But then there's like the shows that are hilarious. Oh, Six is amazing.
Six is amazing.
If you ever get a chance to see Six.
Six is so good.
Spam-A-Lot is one of my ultimate favorites.
Love Spam-A-Lot.
But you gotta like Monty Python. We were the only people. I swear, we were the only people in the theater laughing. We were laughing hysterically.
Mm-hmm. We were up on
it is so funny. We were in the back of that time.
Yeah.
We were poor then. So
we're poor now.
We're poor now. We're good. We were laughing hysterically, and I know that people were like looking at us because they were like,
there was us and there's like one other group of like 3 or 4 people, and they were also laughing. I remember them talking to us like at intermission. They're like, "We're so glad that you guys are laughing because we think it's hilarious." And I'm like, "I don't know.
How are you not laughing at
and
this
nobody
show?
else is laughing. It's literally a comedy. He gets up on there." Because they do the
well, they sing the song. Well, yeah, the coconuts are the horses.
Right.
Yeah, so they click, 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 click. They click the coconuts together to make the horses sound.
Which is in the movie.
They sing, which is from the movie. They sing the Knights of the Round Table.
Yes.
King Arthur gets on the table, points his toe. Patsy clicks the coconuts, and that's him tap dancing. I'm dying.
Everybody else is genuinely tap dancing around him, and then they pause because now he's going to tap dance, and then
all he does is point his toe, and there go the coconuts.
And then he stops, points the other one,
points the other toe. How do you not laugh at that?
That's hilarious.
That's one of the funniest things I ever saw in my life.
I was dying.
Yeah.
No, we are laughing.
Yeah.
John, I think, was with us.
Oh my god.
He's going into cardiac arrest.
I thought my brother Tom was going to have a heart attack.
That's right. Tom is dying.
Laughing so hard. It was so funny.
Hilarious.
But we grew up on Monty Python. Loved the movie.
Sure.
That's interesting because there are some movie adaptations some musicals that have been made from movies that were not originally musicals. That one was very successful. There are, others.
A lot of the ones that
Legally Blonde is one. It wasn't originally a musical.
Yeah, Legally Blonde, absolutely.
There are some that haven't worked, but
Yeah, I haven't listened to any of the Mean Girl stuff, but I know you guys saw it. And you're like, it was
music
fine.
Wasn't that great. Pretty Woman was not. I didn't think that was that great. I didn't care for it. Yeah, the music wasn't great.
I'm trying to think what the other one is that
somebody said Footloose was terrible.
Really?
Yeah,
I
haven't seen it though.
I mean, Footloose, as we know, is my favorite song of all time.
But you've never seen the
never seen the movie.
But wait, you have to. Okay, you have to tell how the first time you heard the song. This is a great story.
we got okay. So I mean, we were living in the new house when we had moved out to Muscuda and had gotten. So I don't know how old I was. What is it like?
You were
9?
in like second or third grade.
So yeah, somewhere between 8 to 10. 8 to 10.
8
yeah.
and 9.
Well, I don't know the guy the year we moved out here,
I think you got it for Christmas.
Yeah,
that year.
But I get this like jukebox CD player karaoke thing.
Okay.
But it was like Barbie, which is actually
little CDs that you could put in there.
Yes,
yeah, it was Barbie.
It was hilarious because that Sam was the one who got all the Barbie stuff. But for some reason, I wanted this little CD
You were
player.
fascinated with that thing.
I thought it was so cool.
For it for Christmas. Yeah.
I really liked the toys that I could figure out how they worked and why they worked because I'm like, we had real CD players. I had a literal CD player in my room that I could put my little Disney.
You did because we let you play music at night to help you go to sleep one night.
But I wanted this Barbie one so that I could figure out how the little plastic, piece of plastic circle played music. How does this thing work? I figured it out.
Oh,
but
okay.
On that, it was none of the songs that it played. Like they were all like real songs, but they were all covered by Barbie.
Barbie's singing all of the songs, and they're not the real singer.
No.
Okay.
So Barbie sings the song Footloose, and I had never heard the song Footloose. Again, I'm like 9.
You're probably 8 going on 9. Because your birthday would have been 2 days later, so you're 9.
I'm probably
basically
9. I gotta be 9. Yeah. The CD goes. It doesn't spin or anything. It just sits in there, and I'm like, what is going on? As I'm still trying to figure this out of how this all works, Footloose is playing. I'm introduced to Footloose by Barbie.
The first time by Barbie.
And I'm like sitting there.
She's bopping.
I'm like, oh, now hold on. Hold on. Who wrote this song for Barbie? This is good. Wait a minute. We gotta do something. We gotta get the word out. This is good. This is great. I only then learned later. Years later, I don't think I heard the song Footloose because again, I'd never seen the movie.
I heard it on the radio.
No, I never heard it. I think I was maybe in 8th grade when I finally heard
the actual
Kenny
song. Singing it.
Yeah. So what is that? 5 years, okay. I believe that this
song was Barbie original.
Barbie was being slept on right now. Like that was quality.
Get this girl in contract.
I literally was like, my 9-year-old little self. I was like, I don't know who I gotta call. I don't know. I gotta write some letters.
Barbie.
Because this is amazing. I don't know. Somebody wrote this song. This is great. This is great.
Loving it.
I don't know why I didn't assume that it was also a cover.
What were your thoughts when you realized Barbie had not originated that song?
I was like, no one can ever know.
Here we are.
Telling it then I eventually told you guys, and then I went to tell the world.
I died when you told me that. You're like, man, Barbie, somebody get this girl a singing contract.
I was like, listen, what? I don't know who wrote this song. Get that? They need an album.
And then I tell you that it came from a movie.
I did know by that point that it came from the movie, but I did not. I never heard the song or anything. So yeah, so that's how I was introduced to my favorite song
of all time.
Now I will tell you that it is being encroached upon. But Matchbox 20s, don't get me wrong.
Oh, that's a good song.
That's
a good song.
Play that song on repeat all day, every day.
Yep, that's a good song.
I love that song. Banger.
I don't know how you pick a favorite. I got too many. Too many I like.
I know. Well, that brings me to my last musical I've written down because I said Phantom of the Opera, which I stand by my statement that is the perfect musical because It is a musical about events that take place at a theater. And so when you see it live at a theater, especially if you go to somewhere like the Fox, where it's this like very old, grandiose, classic,
beautiful theater,
theater,
and the chandelier
with the chandelier that they have to hang a different chandelier
have
from
to hang a different chandelier
for the movie,
legit,
or for the production,
right?
It is perfect because you, the audience, now, I mean, in my opinion, I feel like you become a part of
you're the audience,
the production
at this theater.
Right. It's perfect. It is perfect.
Well, and then you've got the first time you guys saw it, you've got the Phantom's voice. It's bouncing around.
Mm-hmm. They bounce around the different speakers.
They move it to different speakers, and you don't know where he is.
Yeah, because the first time we went, I was on crutches.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to be like way up in the balcony.
You were supposed to be in that front, balcony part.
And they had said, listen, they saw me on crutches. We rid the elevator up to the thing, and they asked us where our tickets were, and they go, listen, she's not going to be able to make it up there because the stairs are super steep. She won't be, like, talking about me on the crutches.
Right. They didn't want you going, taking a chance up there.
So they put me and Sam down on the floor underneath, like, the overhang.
Yeah, unfortunately, underneath.
Which really, honestly, it wasn't bad. It was, like, one of my first times being at the Fox.
Right.
You know, I think when we were very young, we got to see Beauty and the Beast, which was really good.
What a
so
wonderful
good.
show. Yeah.
But that was like the second time we were gone.
To clarify, we weren't sitting with you. Friends of ours had given us their seats in a different part of the theater, and so then I bought 2 for you and Sam.
Mm-hmm.
And we weren't sitting together. And you tell me later, I think we went to see you at the intermission.
Yes.
And you were like, the Phantom freaked me out.
Well,
it
was because it's so funny because we're under the little overhang, and it was actually if we hadn't had the overhang, which kind of blocked the chandelier just a little bit, but we saw it by the time it got to the stage.
Right, sure.
Would have been probably one of the better times because even though we're a little bit further away, nobody was sitting around us, so there was no one to like block the stage. Wow. It was great. Okay. But we're underneath there, and the speakers are on the like pillars that are supporting this, balcony. Mm-hmm. So when they're bouncing this voice around, it's like literally, like practically in our ear. And, so the first one comes on and it was like the one we were right next to. And it scared the shit out of me. And Sam just were like, oh shit, he's right here. Like, we're like, did not expect that to be in my ear directly above me.
Right. But he's got this creepy voice.
Yeah, but it was so good.
Is that the only time you've seen it?
No, we saw it again, but I don't remember.
We saw it again?
I think I've seen it twice.
I've seen it 2 times. I took Liv back because Liv was mad she couldn't go. Mm-hmm. Like, you're too young. When it comes back, I'll take you. So then it came back and it was right around her birthday. So her and I went over there, sat in the mezzanine, which is the best spot. Yeah. and saw it she was in heaven. That one's really good. It's an incredible show. So that's probably got to be my number one just because I don't know what you could put ahead of it. But then, like I said, 6, Legally Blonde, Lion King, all those great. But also, Cinderella, Rodgers and Hammerstein. Oh, that's always
I love that one.
Faves.
Now, specifically, because we saw the stage production.
We took you for a girls' day before you got married.
Yeah.
The 3 of us.
Because it was like right around like New Year's.
It was right before your wedding.
And then we were getting married. After getting married like 2 weeks later.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're like, we got to do one last girls thing together. Yep. We went to see it, and it's great.
And I hadn't seen the.
I hadn't seen it live either. It was a wonderful production. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was great. I love the as a graphic designer, the playbill has the shoe. But then in like the gap between the heel, the cutout is her. It's like her silhouette, and I was like, oh, excellent!
What a great design!
But
the movie of it is very good.
And there's a couple.
They've made it 3 different times, I think.
So the first one stars Leslie Ann Warren.
No, first one actually is Julie Andrews.
We gotta go back.
Yep, it goes way back. Julie Andrews, black and white, and then Leslie Ann Warren. Mm-hmm. That's one.
Which is very.
I remember watching when I was
not
a kid.
well known. That one is not well known.
It was good. I loved it when I was a kid. And then they remade it again. Disney did.
This is the best one.
And it's phenomenal.
That's one has Brandy, and Whitney Houston is of course the fairy godmother, who is amazing. Who else? Whoopi Goldberg is the queen.
Bernadette Peters.
The stepmother. I love her.
Yes.
I love Bernadette Peters, and she is a perfect evil stepmother.
Yeah, she
100%.
wow, she did so good.
She did so good.
Yeah.
But then I don't even know the names of the actresses who are the stepsisters, but they are
they
hilarious.
were so great. This was like a made-for-TV thing.
Yeah.
Jason Alexander plays the,
and he's great.
He's hilarious.
He's great.
He plays like the
Victor Garber is the king, and that is so. It is so wild to me because he's the king in that, and most people probably know Victor Garber in probably a multitude of things, but he's in Legally Blonde. He's the professor who's also an asshole and whatnot. But we discovered later that the movie Godspell, the movie version of Godspell, he's Jesus.
He plays Jesus.
Victor Garber is Jesus in that.
And he has a great singing voice.
Amazing. And they don't have him, he doesn't sing at all in that. Now, I don't know if it's kind of like a Julie Andrews situation where as he got older, he can't really sing anymore. I always wonder,
because he wasn't that old in that movie. But
but I was like, but they had Whoopi Goldberg sing.
Yeah.
You know, and not that, you know, she sings fine in that, but she's certainly not known for her singing. You know, she was definitely much more known for her comedy at the time. But, yeah, he was hilarious. He was amazing. Not hilarious. He was, like, very good in Godspell. And so, yeah. So
he was so good.
And again, I don't know who the actor is that is the Prince. He's kind of such a cutie. But
I've never seen him in anything else, and he sings so beautifully.
What is the term for the casting that they did for that movie? Because like I said, Victor Garber, white man, Whoopi Goldberg, black woman. That's your king queen.
And then you have a Hispanic, Asian.
I think he's Filipino.
His name is
Paulo Montalban.
Right.
I don't know where I pulled that from. So I think because I just watched a video. I say just, but. That was like they were interviewing them, and Brandy and this Paolo and whatnot.
Yeah. What is that called? It's not a blind cast. It's like you're blind. Like,
I know what is that called?
Colorblind cast or something like that.
Yeah. What is that called? I gotta look it up now. Oh yeah, it is colorblind cast.
Okay, is that right? Okay, because then you have Bernadette Peters who plays the mother of. Then the two stepsisters, one's black, one's white, and then Brandy is obviously black, and then so they tried to just not care about color. It was just like these are the people, they're talented, they can do the part. It was like one of the few musical adaptations to a movie that I was like, they actually got the big names.
Paulo Montalban is a Filipino-American actor.
Okay.
I looked it up.
That name sounds very Hispanic, doesn't it?
Because the Philippines, the Spanish.
Oh, okay. History lesson for you out there. Yeah. You didn't know the Spanish
like I was
colonized like there or something along those lines.
Like I was stuck on the word conquistador, but that's not like the right. But yes, the Spanish take over, and that's similar to what. That's why you see like Spanish names in obviously now South America and whatnot, but that's kind of how that all started.
Okay, gotcha.
Similar things. Why there's like a lot of French names in certain areas of the United States, same kind of stuff. So, yeah.
But yeah, they went and got the big names for that musical, but they got people who could sing. I mean, you get Whitney Houston.
Oh my God!
You get Brandy. You get Bernadette Peters. These people can actually sing.
Yeah.
So it worked.
It was amazing.
Yeah. It's still one of your absolute faves.
Oh, I watch that movie every year, and if I'm sick and I'm not watching Clue, it's because I'm watching. Watching the Disney.
These are Abby's feel-good go-to.
It's on Disney Plus. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's her feel-good go-to.
They sing. Whitney Houston sings "Impossible" in that movie. Are you kidding me? You kidding me?
Talk about feeding your soul.
Oh, feed your soul for sure.
Yeah.
Oh well. So I guess that's where we'll leave folks today. Go watch that. Go watch that.
Yes, there are so many great
go see a
live
musical
shows. If you can see a live show, take one in.
Absolutely, the Muni. There, I mean, especially around in the St. Louis area,
there's
so many opportunities.
That we live in an area because not only can you
go to the Fox,
you can go to the Muni, and now the Stiefel is owned by the same people. The Fox, the same people own the Fox and the Stiefel.
Oh,
okay. So like we're gonna go see the Cher show at the Stiefel in April. And
how long do you think she'll be touring?
I don't know how long she can keep touring.
That's a story for another day.
That's a story for next time. Oh my gosh. All right. I don't know about you, but after this, someone needs some serious beef.
All right.
Bye now.